We are going to be reading In My Garden. It's a children's book. And since my topic is about vegetables, the kids learning about vegetables and fruits, I decided this is a good one. Now let's get started. In My Garden by Helen and Kelly. Okay. Have you ever tasted a homegrown tomato? Or an ear of corn that was cooked a few minutes after it was picked? You can. Growing and eating some of your food is a treat, and there are vegetables that will grow in almost any atmosphere anywhere. Beans, radishes, and tomatoes are a few that will grow. To begin your garden, find a good spot in your yard or community pot, or on a window. You want as much soil as you can get and land. Remember that in the summer when the leaves are full, trees will make shade. Most plants need direct sunlight to grow. Some plants grow taller than others, and some have more shade than others. Make sure to plant all the plants that grow tall, like tomatoes or the other larger plants. Make sure to grow them apart from the smaller ones. That way the other ones can still get shade. Dig up the entire area of the garden and spread it with fertilizer. Fertilizer is the food that your plants will need to grow. Work it in with the hoe as you break up clumps of soil. Finally, smooth the area with a rake. Your garden is ready for planting. Only a few tools are needed. In the middle of April, plant a few tomato seeds in a small container that has been filled with soil. Cover the container with a piece of plastic wrap and hold the wrap with a piece of rubber band. By late spring, your tomato plant will be ready to move to the garden. Gently removing the container, bury the plant so that the cube of soil is well covered. Here are some planting tips. If you cannot start tomatoes and peppers indoors, you can buy small plants and put them in your garden. Before planting seeds, if the soil is very dry, sprinkle the garden with water, but don't soak it. Weeding. Don't forget to weed your garden. Weed your plants that can take away food and water that your vegetables need. Thinning. When your seeds begin to grow, they will begin to be crowded. Since it's important to allow room for a plant's roots to spread out, you should pull out some of your seedlings to make space for others to grow. These are our favorite vegetables to grow. Beans, easy to plant, easy to grow, easy to pick. Beans are popular with all gardeners. Beans can be eaten raw, or they can be cooked, canned, or frozen. Carrots are also a big favorite. They can be planted early in the spring. Plant some every 3 weeks and you will have a fresh supply through summer and winter. Carrots take a long time to come up, so be patient. Lettuce. All gardens should have lettuce. Lettuce growth is the best. It grows the best in the summer and can be planted early in the spring. In the heat of summer, lettuce grows in partial shade. Peppers. Pepper plants are very popular. They can be grown in many places. Large plants near the porch, front yard, or the garden. They take a long time to grow, and that's why some would rather buy. Radishes are also really, really popular. They are the fastest growing of them all. Some ripen in 20 to 30 days. Only plant a couple at a time. Tomatoes are a gardener's favorite. Tomatoes come in many sizes and shapes, and they can be started at home 6 to 8 weeks before planting. Zucchini. Be ready for surprises with these. Some grow large and bright and in different colors. These blossom every day, and some come really small and others are huge. An indoor garden could be used mostly for tomatoes and green peppers and plots that are only 6 inches, and baby carrots and radishes. Some friends of the garden that help to keep our pests. Wasp, flicker, starling, toad, black and white warbler, woodpecker, brown tortoise, owl, hawk, and praying mantis. What do you do with old weeds? What do you do with all those long clippings and leaves that you rake in the fall? You can use all these in your garden next year. If you start a compost pile, make a compost pile. You can use the leftover stuff in your garden, and you can use these to start your garden, and so the soil can become rich for next year. At last, everything is ripe and wonderful tasting. The seeds and plants have grown and became a rich garden. The end.